Good morning and welcome to the Rise and Grind Mastermind call. This call was started on September 8th, 2016. This is a mastermind group. Just in case you're wondering what a mastermind group is, a mastermind group is a group of people who come together to accumulate a great fortune. How we do this? We do this call live every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. We share like-minded ideas to become more successful. A mastermind group concept was basically developed by Napoleon Hill. He's the author of the book Think and Grow Rich. So we do shout out acknowledgement to him so you know where we get this information from that we're talking about. Research was done, and that's where the term came from, mastermind group, because behind every great leader, every major millionaire, billionaire, realistically, they consult with a team. They're never accumulating this great fortune alone. So what we're doing is coming up with topics, realistic topics that we need to we need to experience in our life, or we are experiencing in our life to become more successful. Today's topic is going beyond limitations. It's a very important topic to talk about because the motto of this call is start your day with a vision. No matter what kind of vision you have for your life today, what is hard for most individuals is doing something you've never done before, going past your scope of limitation. In each person's life, there comes a time when he or she must pursue growth and expand, to some kind of level or expand to some kind of form. It doesn't matter whether you're trying to overcome a physical weakness, a financial scarcity, or, new skills, new knowledge. In our minds, we have only gone so far to make it to today, to this moment. So what we have to do is expand our mind, to reach our goals in certain areas, to go past our physical limitations. Understand that when most people want to reach great success, you see them doing something like taking a bike trip around the world. You see them entering into a marathon. And you wonder, okay, what does this physical fitness or what is this physical thing that they're doing, what does this have to do with their success? It has a lot to do with it because when you take your mind outside of limitation mode and doing something that you've never done before, then the possibilities are endless. That means it doesn't matter how much money I have. I can do endless things with whatever. It doesn't matter that I've never taken my bike and rode all around the world in a certain amount of days, all around the country, because I can overcome this physical limitation. Understand that limitation is limitation. It doesn't matter whether it's physical limitation, a financial limitation, knowledge limitation, creative action. I hear someone who just chimed in on the call, but today's call is going beyond limitation. But make sure that you understand what that limitation is so that you can go beyond that limitation. Also, we already talked about the physical limitation because it's a reality. A lot of people want to enter into their first 5K, their first 10K. They want to do a bike. They want to get themselves into the best fitness ever. But that limitation in your mind, no matter what it is, once you overcome that limitation, you skyrocket to success. Financial scarcity. You don't know how to operate as a broke person unless you're actually broke. And no matter if you've always been comfortable your whole life, you grew up comfortable, your mom and dad raised you in a comfortable environment. You get out there, you start working, you get your first car, you get your apartment, everything is comfortable. You're going from comfort zone to comfort zone. In that comfort zone, there's no growth. And you never really learn how it is to take myself outside my limitation unless I ever experience it. So financial scarcity basically is going beyond your limitation. When you go beyond your limitation, you realize that you could do things that you never thought that you could do. You thought that you were limited in your brain because of the money that you had, but you were able to be creative. You were able to use that creative side of your brain. You were able to use that asking power. You were able to attract more by visualizing more and thinking more and knowing that you were going to get out the situation. Or if you're going through the situation right now, you understand that your mind isn't as limited as you thought your mind was going to be just because you're going through something. Understand that going beyond limitation, it helps take you to that life-enhancing self that you want to be. We want to go from where we were yesterday to a major level of growth. The only way you can grow is to go beyond your limitations. You thought that this was as far as I could take it. Yeah, I want to do this, but I don't think there's enough time. Yeah, I want to do this, but I don't have the skills. Yeah, I want to do this, but I don't have the knowledge. Yeah, I want to do this, but I don't have the abilities. That's how we're going to take ourselves to our new self that we want to be. And that's actually going beyond our limitations. Think about the creative action that you want to bring into the world. Any kind of creative action, it's very important that you realize, and whether it's you want to write, you want to make music, you want to write a book, you want to perform some kind of work of art, you want to enhance whatever kind of services you perform. We have to get to the point where we go past our limitations. Is there anyone else out there who want to talk about going beyond limitations?
Hey, good morning. This is Randolph. Going beyond limitations is a very important topic. Again, we hope everyone has started their day with a vision, like the purpose of the motto of the call. But just on a personal note, my grandmother, she had one leg due to a medical condition, and she did not limit her by any means. She consistently says, she used to say, I'm not handicapped or disabled. I can get around, I can move, I can do just like anybody else. So the mindset was important, just going into whatever, your mindset that you can do it is really 3/4 of the battle from my perspective, just watching what she did. The other 25%, I would just say, or maybe my percentages might be a little off, would be actually surrounding yourself with people who believe in your cause or who are connected with other people who think outside the box as well. Because that not only gives you that mastermind group, but it gives you that spiritual, that physical, that emotional support that you need to accomplish whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. Knowing, with that being said, the key word in limitation is limit. And on a side note, Master P's name of his record company was No Limit. This brother was, from a, impoverished neighborhood in Louisiana, and he had a mindset that, I'm getting out of this condition. I'm changing this for my family by any means necessary. And he took that, wholeheartedly. He took it on. And, he's a very, very successful entrepreneur, businessman, owner of many businesses. When it comes to limiting yourself, to me it all starts with your mindset and who you're surrounding yourself with. Because if you're not around people like that aren't afraid to think outside the box and that aren't afraid to make those moves with you, you can do whatever you want to do pretty much. I know I met the founder of the Great American Cookie Company. And I was asking him, I'm a young entrepreneur, and, we were telling each other stories, and we talked for a good minute. And I asked him, to send me some information on how to be successful. And so I'm thinking this guy's just going to give me the blueprint to how he made his first $1 million. This guy sends me a YouTube video of him riding a bike across the United States from Savannah to California. Not one time, but twice. The first time he did it in record timing, and then the second time he did it in incredible record timing. And the conditions that he had to endure riding a bicycle across the United States was on a whole nother level. It took me a minute to actually get what the guy was trying to tell me, but what he was saying was exactly what we're talking about, going beyond your limits, pushing yourself. Now, during the trip, he got exhausted and he had to get pulled over and he had to, go to the hospital and take a break here. And then that's where that mastermind group, that team of people we had around him was very effective in pushing him to get, to accomplish his goal. But nevertheless, throughout all those adversities and things that he had to go through, the second time around on the trip, he did better than the first time, and it looked like he went through more more adversities on the second trip, watching the YouTube video. So, I was looking for a blueprint on A, B, C, D, all the way to Z. So all I got to do is just, make it to the top. No. The point of that video was to push myself, to surround myself around people, to know that there are going to be hard times ahead. There will be rain. There will be wind. There will be hot sun beating on me, So, whatever it is that I'm trying to accomplish, I can accomplish it. Don't limit myself, but surround myself with like-minded people who can support me on my journey, wherever you're trying to do. So that's really what I got from, not limiting yourself or going beyond your expectations. But you also want to be very, very careful, early on, not to overexert yourself. Like you don't want to, I'm not a doctor or anything, and there's nothing wrong with pushing yourself, but you can overexert a muscle and pull something or perhaps, dislocate something or, really jack yourself up for a long period of time to actually, to actually slow down your progress. You don't want to do that. There's nothing wrong with, having that zeal to go get it. But you want to be smart about whatever it is that you're doing. You don't want to just shoot out like a rocket. You want to gain that momentum, almost like the snowball effect. You want to keep going, and it gradually gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And before you know it, you're on to something. So, when it comes to, whatever you want to do, try not to limit yourself. Doubt will arise. Things will happen because we are human. We are fallible. But then you have to really have to hone in on your support system. We talked about system. There's that word again, system. Saving yourself time, energy, and money. You want to have some people around you that can really push you and catapult you to the next level. I'll turn it back over to the group if they have anything else they want to say as far as not limiting yourself.
Hi, this is Shana. Good morning, everybody. And I just wanted to add something to the conversation about this topic. Back in October, I went to this great conference dealing with child care in, I forgot where I went. But anyway, I went there, and it was a keynote speaker. His name was Shana Stevenson. And I would invite everybody to look him up and check out his story. But when he came out, he came in a little bitty, he's a miniature person. I'm sorry if I'm not politically correct, but he came in a little wheelchair, and he wheeled out, and he came out and he spoke to the group. And he was born with a degenerative bone disease that made it where his bones were very fragile. So he could break his bones on any of the smallest things. Just walking across the room, he would break his bones. And he went through this his entire childhood and even now. And that's confined him to a wheelchair, as well as he's, a little person, where it makes it hard for him to even, with what comes with that, for him to even reach typical things that we can reach. But anyway, with the story, as he got up there and he just really told his story, and he was the most inspiring and the most, I would say, confident person I had ever came across, really, in all my years on earth. And what it was is he had so many limitations in life as far as his disease and his condition he was going through, also with his height, that it made him actually look at some of the, what we consider the little things in life, really look inside of himself, look at who he is. And what it did is it made him almost limitless. He's been on the Oprah Winfrey Show. He has met and been on the right side of at least 3 different presidents. He's a keynote speaker. He goes around and he inspires people to be very confident in themselves and to see what limits that they can accomplish, where they can go in life. And that was just real inspiring to me, and it made me realize, okay, the small limitations that I have or a lot of us have in life, they're really not limits. They don't limit us at all. What it is opportunities for us to look into what we really can do and what is our, I would say, the gifts that we've been given, and to really hone into that and take us to another level where we can be limitless and we can accomplish all of our goals. So I just wanted to add that to it. Again, his name is Shana Stevenson, And I would say look him up and read some of his books. He has one book that's called Get Off Your Butt. It's really inspiring. He puts a lot of comedy in what he's saying, but it's really true, and it really hits you right in the heart, and it helps you to feel like you can do anything, too. So that's just what I wanted to add to the conversation. At this point, I'll pass it back to the group if someone else wants to add to it as well.
Yeah, I just got something real quick I wanted to add on. I know we talk about a lot of what I guess you could say phenomenal people, but everyone on this call who hosts this call are walking testimonies of going beyond expectations. You know, for the most part, we're young, we're black people. You know, we have so many things going against us coming out the gate. You know, whether you're white, black, or whatever. But most of the people hosting this call, including myself, you know, we've had things that have happened in our life where I wouldn't say most people would have quit or given up or said, hey, forget about it, I'm just going to live my life how it is. You know, but we're those people, the future, not even the future, the movers and shakers of today who've gone past expectations, that are handling business, that are making changes, not only in our lives, that are affecting communities, that are affecting the lives of people that we see on a daily basis. So we're walking testimonies of not limiting yourself and going beyond your expectations, and that you can obtain whatever it is that you want to with the correct mindset, you know, hard work, you know, faith in God, you know, and surrounding yourself with positive people. I just wanted to add that in. I'll turn it back over to Timeka.
Okay. One thing I wanted to talk about was in life we have the dream and then we have the dreamer. When we talk about going beyond limitations, we have to understand that our brain works in images. It works with images. So whatever images, whatever thoughts that you bring into your brain, it has a lot to do with what you've seen other people do. That's why it's very important that we monitor what we watch on TV. We control what we see. You know, that's why a lot of successful people don't watch the news, because don't watch the first 48. Don't watch Law and Order, because seeing a lot of tragic incidences, number one, it's a time waster, but it's going to keep those images in your head, and those are the images that's going to help you form your vision for the day. And a lot of people who don't control what they think, they kind of go with the flow. So if they log into Facebook, could be on Facebook an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, could be on there on and off probably about 100 times a day clicking on Facebook. It's very important that you go beyond your limitations. Do something that you've never thought you can do based on that dream that you have. And it's kind of like talking about the law of attraction to people who don't believe that they should write down their visions. Never get in this point in life, because I know a lot of people go through this on a consistent basis. You have people in your family, you have people, you know, friends, you have associates, or someone close to you. And they try to challenge your religious beliefs. They try to challenge your spirituality. They try to challenge, why do I need to write it down? Why do I need to visualize it? Why do I need to think about it? Why do I need to start my day with a vision? It is not your job to make someone believe what they should believe. It is up to you to realize what your individual limitation is and go beyond it. Because in life, the best teacher is life. But you don't know it unless you live it. So a lot of times we have to step out that comfort zone, and we have to do something we've never done before to actually see if it works. Because we talk about the habit challenge, but really everything we do is based on habit. It's based on some kind of habit that we started yesterday or habit we're going to start today. But take that leap and realize when you look in the mirror and you ask yourself, what do you want? As soon as you say, what do you want, don't pull yourself back. If that what do you want is I want to get married, and you just went through a bad marriage, or you're already married, or you don't even have a person yet that you want to get married to, get past that limitation and say, this is what I'm going to get. What do you want? If your first thing is I want $1 million, I want $10,000, don't think about how you're going to get it. When you attract what you want by going past that limitation. I know there's a speaker out there who was born with like a flipper of a leg, you know, not even a leg, it's like toes, and I don't know his name, but he has no arms, and he's a great, phenomenal speaker. And I was listening to Harv Eker speak about him in the early 90s, and he was talking about how phenomenally a speaker he was. And he was saying this guy will Can you imagine being like he was? They have to pick him up, place him on the stage. He can move back and forth, but he doesn't have legs. It's like a little flipper of a leg, and, he doesn't have arms. It's just two fingers extending from his, his shoulder for him to, move a microphone or maneuver things. He says this man will grow up, and, as time goes, can you imagine this man will never be able to have kids? This man will never get married. But I forgot the name of the speaker, but he's married, and he has 2 children now. So it's kind of like we look at these success stories, and they're going from success to success. And realistically, when a child grows up with no arms or no legs, they learn how to live with that limitation that they have and go beyond other people's limitations they're putting them in. Realize that when we were growing up, people put you in a box based on the neighborhood that you grew up in, based on the family that raised you. People gave limitations for your life. So for you to achieve the successes that you have achieved to this day, you have to take yourself out of that box that people have placed you in and continuously go past your limitations, go past your limitations. That's why when we talk about great success, good success, people who achieve great success, they visualized this. They knew they were going. They didn't have to announce it to the world. Oprah didn't have to tell everybody, hey, I don't know if y'all know, but y'all want to surround yourselves with me because I'm going to be big. I'm going to be big. She didn't have to announce it to the world. When she gave birth to a baby at the age of 11 years old, her mom consistently told her, you are different than us. You are different than us. You are different. So she made it known to the world that, hey, I am different than y'all. You label me as a bad girl, so what I'm going to do is do everything different than what my family did. You didn't go to college, so I'm going to college. You don't do what you say you're going to do, but I'm going to do everything I say I'm going to do, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it well. So if you're that person that stands out from the crowd, continuously stand out from the crowd and go past your limitations or that limiting belief that other people have put on your life. Make that dream come true. Because a lot of people look at you and they see your present circumstance, and they don't see you going past. But it's your mind. It's the actions that you're taking to get past that limitation. That's why a lot of people are like, well, why is this man driving all over this man drove, who owns the great cookie company, he rode a bike all the way with 2 and 3 hours of sleep a night, barely getting sleep. Liquid diet, eating regular meals that we normally eat, liquefied in a cup while he's riding a bike from, I think it was Savannah, Georgia, to somewhere in California or something. It wasn't that he was doing this to win a prize, win money. This was something where you go past your limitation and do something that you've never done before. And it just takes you like, wow, if I can do this, I can do anything. And we have to find out what is our limiting belief by asking ourselves, what do we want? A lot of us end up bashing down our own thoughts because we're trying to find a master plan. You didn't have a plan, the definite 100% plan to get to where you are today. We got to realize that we need to have faith that whatever we want will happen, but God supplies our every need. So when we have these plans and we're writing a vision for our day, we want a certain thing to happen or better. Always make room for better. Because if you have a plan for your life, just imagine God created this whole world, all the people in it. The planets, the universe, all of this phenomenally great things that you wouldn't be able to handle half of it in a day because we're juggling trying to manage our lives, our households, our kids, our family. So we have to realize when we write the vision for our life and make it plain and we create a daily vision, all this great things, that we make room for better so that we can go past our limiting beliefs. That's basically all I wanted to add to that topic. Is there anyone else out there who wants to talk about going beyond limitations?
No, I just think it was a great call, man. Great call.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and wrap up this call. And
Good morning.
Everyone starts. We have someone who wants to make a comment?
Sounds like it, but I guess not.
Okay. If you're trying to talk, we can't hear you. I don't know if you place your phone on mute. But understand, going beyond our limitations is basically we need to understand what our limitation is So we're meant to understand where our limiting belief is. Once you understand what your limiting belief is, grow in consciousness. Go beyond the external thoughts, your internal thoughts. Go beyond that and find out what it is that you want to do. Like we talk about this 67-day challenge. I mean, it doesn't matter if you didn't start a habit on the first day, but if you start the habit today of finding out what's limiting you, maybe it's money. Maybe it was the way you were raised. I'm reading this book about my financial blueprint and realize that people have to be taught how to manage money. So the way I was taught as a kid is embedded in me. So in order for me to manage money properly, I have to go beyond everything that I've been.
All right, I'm not sure what happened to Timeka on